Hey, we're back here on The Reckoning on the Real Talk Radio Network, and we're going to keep cruising along here, coming down to our last half hour almost, and we got a lot of things to talk about. Still a couple more people to talk to, waiting on the phone lines to ring in there for Senator Eigel to give us a call. I know he's running from one event to the next in Sedalia. Let me take this opportunity to remind you folks, if you did not see it, there was a gubernatorial forum with 3 of the 4 candidates, former Senator, current Lieutenant Governor Kehoe did not show up, and it's probably no wonder why. He took a pretty good beating from a lot of the folks on the stage talking about the issues, and it was a good discussion about the issues. If you didn't get a chance to see it or listen to it, there's a video floating around out there on YouTube. Go and look it up, Missouri Gubernatorial Forum. See it for yourself. Listen to the candidates. There's going to be another one coming up here at the end of the month, I believe, on the 24th. That one, unfortunately, unless something has changed, I don't believe that debate on Channel 5 is going to be including Chris Wright from Joplin, who's running for governor. And I tell you what, Chris last night made some great points. He is a good voice in the conversation about the issues that are going on in Missouri, about what is happening. And that's the kind of forum last night. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed watching the Trump-Biden debate, but we didn't really have a serious policy discussion about anything. But this debate last night, this forum amongst 3 of the 4 gubernatorial candidates, there was a lot of serious discussion that happened, a lot of good policy proposals. Everyone stayed respectful, but there was a lot of good back and forth on records. It's worth your time. This is the kind of forum I'd like to see more often, this kind of quality candidate discussion, especially at our statewide level where it's really hard to get a hold of these folks. Someone's running for Congress, someone's running for state rep, state senator, they're in a smaller district. You're going to be able to see them, to get to an event where they are, to meet them, shake their hand, get to know who they are. Running statewide as a candidate, and let me tell you, having been a campaign staffer on statewide races, multiple statewide races, it is really shockingly difficult to get to people. You have to rely so heavily on media because there's just almost no way to reach every corner of the state. You can try to get to every county, but that's a lot of people and a lot of events to try to host, especially when you're doing it 40, 50, 60, 100, 150 at a time. It's very difficult. So if you are looking for information, find these candidates' Facebook profiles, their X accounts, their websites, and look at the events page. Find something near you because it is not that easy for them to get around to every single county. We got 114 of them here in Missouri. But in the meantime, even if you can't get there, to see them in person, there are great forums happening all over the place, and they are exciting to watch as we roll down to Election Day here. And it looks like I am going to not dive into the next issue as I am watching Fish on the phone. Here we go. Hold on. The suspense is killing me. Oh, boy. The suspense. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm getting the nod. I'm getting the official nod. Fish has given his permission. We're moving on. Sounds like we're being joined right now on the phone by Senator Bill Eigel, running for governor. How are you doing today, sir?
Hey, good, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for being on. I just wanted to catch up with you because we had a great forum last night, I think. I wanted to get your take on that, see what you guys are up to, what the next couple of priorities are. But I think it was a good discussion. How do you feel about the debate or the forum that happened here in St. Louis County last night?
I feel great. I think that we won the policy debate decisively. We were talking about a Missouri that was going to be a leader in these United States. It's a Missouri that's getting rid of personal property tax and deporting the illegals, things I've been talking about for years. And as Republicans are starting to pay more and more attention to this primary that's about to occur in about 3 weeks, they're excited about that message. We've been surging in the polls, and I think that what happened on the debate stage last night is just going to continue to improve things. And I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that there was a lot of disappointment that at least one of the major candidates, Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe, didn't feel like he needed to show up and answer for why he votes like a Democrat and acts like a Democrat down in Jefferson City, but is going around the state of Missouri trying to claim that he's some sort of conservative, that he's going around Missouri and trying to claim that he's some sort of Republican. The reality is, this is why people hate politicians. A guy like Mike Kehoe votes to allow our land to be sold to China when he's a state senator. A guy like Mike Kehoe votes to increase the gas tax and then has the nerve to not even show up to the debate where the voters themselves are able to ask him why he betrayed them for what he said he was going to do in campaign season and that their voices don't matter. I think that if Mike Kehoe doesn't have the courage to show up to these debates and face the music for all the bad Democrat decisions that he's made, he doesn't deserve a single vote from a single Republican in a single county in this state on August 6th. So I think I was very pleased. I just wish that all the candidates for office of governor would show the same courage and show up and face the music, and let's have a solid debate.
Well, and I think last night was a solid debate on the issues. I was really excited to hear the incredible amount of discussion around, no, we can talk about all of these things, but until someone takes a sledgehammer to some of the bureaucracies, none of it changes. That has to happen,
right.
And that happens from a governor who's willing to get into the mud and do stuff. You can bully pulpit around with the legislature, but there is so much executive action that can be taken to really hogtie the folks who are hogtying Missourians. And that's what I got excited about hearing so much of. Let me ask you one quick question, because I had a couple of folks ask me, okay, property tax, I went gone. State income tax, I went gone. I see a lot of these things on your campaign page. Riddle me this. Mm-hmm. This is a legislative issue in the sense that the legislature has to repeal the property tax. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay. So here is my question. I'm so glad that you're campaigning on that. As governor, how does that work? What do you actually have a chance to do to get rid of the property tax on Missourians? Is it just yelling at the legislature, or are there channels where you can work through the executive side? This is a serious question I've had from someone, and I think a lot of people are confused about it too.
Well, sometimes I think that yelling at the legislature is always going to be part of the equation. But don't underestimate the value and importance of having a visionary leader that's calling on Republicans to do Republican things. Having a leader that's willing to confront the status quo that's actually getting all that money right now and isn't going to want to let go nicely, right? We're not going to be able to get rid of personal property tax or income taxes by having a governor that just wants to be a nice guy, that just wants to be this charismatic, feel-good story like Mike Kehoe's talking about, because he's just going to compromise with the swamp and not really get anything done. It's going to take somebody that's willing to confront the swamp, call on Republicans to do Republican things, and then if they don't, hold them accountable in front of the people of this state for not doing what they said they would during campaign season. I mean, look at all the other big red states that don't have personal property tax or income taxes. Tennessee, Texas, Florida. It's not that those states don't have moderates or rhinos in their legislature. It's not that those states don't have the soft, weak-kneed Republicans from time to time that, if given half an opportunity, would betray the GOP brand and betray GOP principles. But what those states do have that Missouri doesn't have right now is this visionary leader who's an actual fiscal conservative and is willing to confront these guys, whether it's legislators that want to betray our values or it's the special interests that don't want to let go of all this money. I have built a brand of being that guy down in Jefferson City that has never been afraid to confront the status quo. That's why they hate me so much. And they're going to go on attacking me for as long as, not just in this campaign season like they're now starting to do, but when I'm in office. And you know what? I don't care. They've been attacking me for 8 years. Pretty soon I'm going to be taking the bullets and slings and arrows on behalf of every one of the 6 million Missourians that live in this state. And as a result of the willingness to take on that status quo, we're going to get a Missouri that looks far more like what we're promised in campaign season and what the people of this state show up and demand every 2 years in this state than what we have right now, which is a state that is stagnating under the growth of government being led by weak-kneed rhino Republicans in Jefferson City.
Well, I mean, that begs the next question. I mean, if you're going to get in and do the hard things that need to be done and people are going to hate you for it, what does that hamper you in your ability to move forward? If no one wants to work with you, do you have the ability to unify and move forward? Because you've certainly got the support of so many of we the people, but what do you do with the swamp? Are they going to dig their heels in too? And then what do you do about it as governor?
I am confident there will be members of the legislature that don't want to go along with Republican ideas. I actually think there are quite a few Republicans that are either conservative fighters right now, or there are Republicans that kind of find themselves in the middle and are kind of lost in a state of limbo because there's no one leading the ship from the governor's office. And the legislature, if left to its own devices, will just simply continue to grow government. I think that the need for that visionary leader in the governor's mansion in particular, this is the guy or gal that's recommending the budget. It has line item veto authority over the budget, that has withhold authority of the budget, that can take executive action to deal with the illegal immigration crisis, that can take executive action to even deal and start breaking up the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. So the tools of leverage that a governor has are not just that he's the Republican Party leader and voice of policy in the state, but he actually is empowered in the executive branch to have some leverage over the legislative branch. But what we've seen from these other red governors and other bold states is that when you have a governor that's willing to stand up on policy and push the legislature just a little bit, you can get big things done. I mean, look what happened in the state of Texas with Governor Greg Abbott. He actually wanted to get a major property tax cut bill done, and instead of failing in the regular session, he brought them into successive special sessions. He literally kept them down in Austin until the taxes were cut. I'm willing to make that same kind of commitment until all the pressure is falling down on these Republicans and they do the right thing.
Absolutely. You heard it there, folks. Senator Bill Eigel running for governor. Great discussion last night, and he is running around the state like crazy. We appreciate your time, sir, for hopping on and giving us an update here.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. We'll talk soon.
Thanks so much. We'll talk to everyone on the other side of the break. We'll talk to Bill Eigel again very soon, get an update from him, but don't miss out. We'll be right back on the other side with Representative Tony Lavasco. We'll be right back.